This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX $419 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvietto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orviettosawards.com. Orvietto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Slowman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Slowman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Slowman Shield.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, Call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Ryome. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Ryome can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
point statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you all are doing well. It's a beautiful Monday. Bitcoin's at 107. We're climbing. Panthers are one win away from title number 2. That'll be tomorrow, and we will have the post game. Saturday, I have priorities in life, man. You know, I love my sports, but I love my music too, and so love my Bitcoin, and love my wife, love my daughter, love my dogs. You know, so there's lots of things that I have of interest in my life. You know what I'm saying? So Saturday I was out and I did not do the post-game show. I was following it while I was at the concert, at the Peter Hook concert, which, by the way, I have never been to the Miami Beach band shell. Didn't even know that was a place for concerts. Didn't even know about the place. Didn't realize it or anything. And went there for the first time. And it was awesome, dude. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time. Peter and his band were super tight. They played 11 songs from Joy Division. They played a bunch of New Order. Anybody that went there on Saturday, you know what I'm talking about. So it was actually good. The guitarist does a nice job of singing Bernard Summers parts for New Order. So it was really fun. It was a really fun night. Had a good time. And then obviously the Panthers winning. I got to watch the game. I watched part of it on Saturday night when I got home. It was late. And then I watched the rest yesterday when I got time and I was relaxing and I was able to watch the whole game. Just simply amazing, dude. Just absolutely simply amazing. Like Bitcoin. Which is at 107,153. Simply awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thank you, Ho Yoon. You can always support the show in many ways. Hit that like button, please. There's already 59 watching right now. There's only 25 likes. Let's go. Let's get it up to 59. You can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo. At Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And Ho Yoon, thank you, sir, for your donation. Like clockwork, my brother. Thank you so much. We always appreciate it. And you're simply amazing, dude. Thank you. And remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation as always, which we always appreciate that. They also Chainlink and Solana too, they have now on Ethereum. So any way that you can support us, appreciate it. Ho Yoon does it every week, helping us get to Spain. Thank you. So we can cover the Dolphins that week. I don't expect it to be much of a season, as you all know, but it is what it is. We'll be here. We'll watch it. We'll, talk about it. Whatever. I would say a successful mini camp too, by the way. Right? When nobody's injured, that is definitely successful. Anyway, we got a bunch of things to talk about today on the show. Ira Winderman will join us at 10:30. Today is day 18,739 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi trophy. Yeah, day 18,739.
It's been a long, long time. Mateo Dulio, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stephen D. Felipes, thank you, sir, for your amazing generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you on Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. As always, you know, a lot of you out there, there's that's why we don't do a, you know, people always tell me, hey, oh, why don't you, you know, create a Patreon or something where people have to like subscribe every month. I'd rather not tie people down to give us money or support or buy a shirt or a hat or whatever. I'd rather you do it from your heart. You know what I mean? And people like Ho Yoon and, you know, Mateo, thank you. And Stephen D. Felipes, thank you. You know, your generosity is what keeps this whole thing afloat and why we go. We got great sponsors, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. You use that QR code right there, you will get $500 off. So we give to you also. You give to us, we give back. And by the way, you can get your Panthers gear at Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off also at Caneswear. All right. What else do we have? Thank you all out there for your generosity very much. We really appreciate that immensely. Maurice's system has the Oilers all gassed out. You know, Mattel, I think it's I think you got to give the GM the credit more than even Maurice. Okay, because he's the guy that keeps adding the right pieces to the puzzle. And that takes a skill. And then he's the guy that brought in the coach. He's the guy that made the big trade for Tkachuk. There's no way I can ever leave the general manager out of anything. Zito does it all, dude. Without Zito, this doesn't work. You know, Paul Maurice is a hell of a coach. I know that. But I got to give Zito the magic. Look, Spo's a hell of a coach. He doesn't have a Zito above him right now. Riley is not a Zito anymore. Used to be a Zito, not anymore. Not a Zito. And without the Zito, you know, the system doesn't work because the system has waves of stars. This is what I say all the time about the Heat. Hey, remember when the Heat used to have stars? When they would roll out a bunch of guys? Remember those days? Damn, that was fun, right? Now, they don't roll out stars anymore, dude. And in the last few years, they had one guy. And Jimmy Butler, compared to the stars we've had, is one of the weakest stars that we've had. He's on the low end of the star spectrum. You know what I'm saying? So Zito, the team's loaded, dude. They come at you at waves. If it's not Reinhardt, it's Verhaeghe. If it's not them, it's Bennett, it's Luosterainen, it's Lundell, it's Tkachuk, it's Barkov, it's Marchand. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. So I got to give Zito. I got it. Maurice's system, fantastic, but bro, Zito. My God. I mean, next year, you're going to add a player without adding a player. Next year, you get Matthew Tkachuk healthy. That's why the Brad Marchand Zito move is so big. Because Tkachuk is not Tkachuk right now. He's, God bless him, we saw him play with a broken clavicle, bro. I mean, He's as tough a son of a bitch as it comes. So he's out there dealing with whatever, and he's not himself. You can tell, dude. He might be getting slowly healthy, but he ain't going to be healthy till next year. So the Marshawn move just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, not just his play, but because Tkachuk is more of a supporter than a lead factor right now. And he's still making an impact while he's out there, but he's not Matthew Tkachuk. He's just a great player using his head and whatever he can do physically to make an impact at the highest level, because he's that kind of guy. Because those stars, those studs can do that kind of shit. But I got to give it to Zito. Mateo, I got to give it to Zito. Oh, my God, I got to give it to Zito. I mean, you saw Maurice say, hey, this Lundell kid, you got to be patient with him, give him time, and he'll be, boom, Zito's right. Lusterinen. I have fun. I call him Listerine. You know what I mean? He had a goal and an assist in this game. These are young guys that just, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy, the magic touch he has. It's awesome. It really is. So it's all a team effort, Maurice is amazing, but Zito is just as fabulous. Absolutely just perfection. Really. Perfection. When it comes to general manager work right now, it is perfection what Zito is pulling off right now. And they're one win away, dude. That is pretty damn sweet. Hey, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar with the amazing Alan Blanco. I know he's happy right now that Bitcoin is at 107. Where are we at right now? Where are we at? Oh, it dropped. Sell it all. 106,991. Just under 107. Sell it all. Anyway, let's get to it. If you need some custom printing and embroidery, back over 107. Buy back. Anyway, if you need custom printing and embroidery, you call my guy, Alan Blanco. He does exceptional work. 786-618-1443. Panthers over the Oilers on Saturday, 5-2. Bob had 19 saves. Marchand with 2 goals. Tuesday will be Game 6. Cats lead 3-2. They can eliminate him here. Let's see what happens. Oilers plus 124, Panthers minus 148. The over and under 6.5 goals right now. Tonight, NBA Finals, Game 5. It's tied 2-2, so we're down to a 3-game set. Pacers visit the Thunder now. 2 out of the 3 in OKC. OKC favored by 9.5 points. The over and under is 225. Pacers plus 320 on the money line. The Thunder are minus 410. I mean, there's no way you bet the Thunder minus 410. I don't know why you wouldn't throw a couple of bucks on the Pacers at plus 320. Why not? Why not? That's value. That's a value bet right there. Even if you lose it, it is what it is. Sad news. The Fort Lauderdale United, unfortunately on Saturday night, lost the USL Super League final championship, but they made it to the finals. So congratulations to the United and Tyrone Mears and that entire organization that they're building there. Great year for them. Tampa Bay Sun gets the goal, and they get the win, and they get the cup. Inter Miami and Al Ahly, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, they play to a 0-0 draw in the absolutely bogus Club World Cup, whatever crap that they're playing for. Thursday at 3 o'clock on TNT, Inter Miami will take on FC Porto, and you can watch it, like I said, on TNT. Inter Miami plus 370, Porto minus 150. Messi and the boys are a massive underdog in this one, and unlike the Pacers, I'm not betting them. Miami FC, by the way, unfortunately lost to Indy 11 on Saturday, 3-1. Wednesday, they're back at Pitbull Stadium, and they take on like a soccer institution in this country. I know they're not the highest level, but the Charleston Battery have been around forever, and they got a rich history. So they'll be in town against the Pitbull again at Pitbull Stadium to take on Miami FC. One of the cooler logos and probably cool little franchises in soccer in the country. So good for you folks out there in Charleston. You've had a nice little soccer team for a long, long time. The Charleston Battery and like the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and stuff like that. There's some of these soccer clubs that have been around for a while and just really cool. Anyway, that is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Ira Winderman will join us in about 13 minutes. Dolphins completed minicamp, which is good. Always good there. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Ray, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. He says happy Monday and have a blessed day. Go Panthers. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for the love on Venmo, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Thank you. Appreciate you as always. All right. What else do we have to talk about? Well, we actually have, the Dolphins finished up their camp. And one of the things that I always tell people is by finishing up their camp, okay, what they did was, and without any injuries, what it was a success. Actually, okay? That's what I call a successful minicamp. One where nobody gets injured. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. It's absolutely beautiful. And that's a successful camp. There are no standouts. There is nothing except maybe some mental progress. Okay? It's minicamp. You don't brag about anything in minicamp. You don't win a job in minicamp. You don't do anything in minicamp except work mental reps so you're ready for the physical grind that is coming. That's it, dude. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all. That's, to me, that is what's successful about minicamp for the Dolphins. And for any team, you come out of it injury-free. Okay? Injury-free. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I want to give you a funny story because, folks, we all want to find a home in life. Right? I mean, everyone deserves a home. Every child deserves a home. Every pet deserves a home. If you're a man or a woman, we all deserve to find that person that you love to spend time with and create a home. Workplace is very important. You want to go work somewhere that you kind of enjoy, at least somewhat enjoy, or you absolutely love. I've been blessed. I've done what I love for 35 years, even in the worst environments. And I've been in some pretty bad environments. And I've been in some of the worst environments with the guy that I've been having the most fun with the last couple of years, and Sean Stanley, because he and I have had the freedoms that we never had ever before. You would agree with that, right, Sean? We're somewhat free, aren't we? Yeah. Anyway, so Zach Wilson. I'm so happy for Zach Wilson because he's found a home, dude. He found the perfect place for him to be happy. And wait a minute. I know what you're saying. Oh, of course. I know where you're going. The Boca women, the MILF master, all that kind of stuff. I think the kid's getting married or something, so you know what I'm saying. Maybe he's not MILFing around anymore. Sometimes we all grow up and we stop MILFing around. Some of us are screwing around, but in his case, it's just MILFing around. So, but he's found a home. He's happy here. And I'm happy for him. You know why? We should all feel comfortable. You know, that's what I've tried to do since I went through the entire New York experience, is trying to be more myself and focus on more just enjoying the game, enjoying learning, enjoying the failures, the process, everything that comes with it, and not getting too hard on yourself if you make a mistake. Just trying to learn and do my best and get better. Zach, this is a place for you, dude. Julian Hill makes a shit ton of mistakes, and it doesn't matter, bro. It'll be all right, Zach. Don't worry, bro. It's not like you're with the Miami Heat. No. Over there, they really accept mistakes. They really want people to make mistakes, and they really encourage you after a mistake. Yeah. I'm sure that if you played under Brian Flores, he probably would do the same thing, and so would Nick Saban and Jimmy Johnson. They would encourage you after a mistake, and so would Don Shula. And I'm sure Jim Leland, he loves you after a mistake. And then he'll encourage you after every other mistake. You have found your home, Zach Wilson. This is the place where players can fall on the ground all the time, like Liam Eichenberg. Yes. No, there's not a problem here, young man. You can be a wide receiver that's paid $30 million a year and drop balls and run the wrong routes. It's just a mistake. That's it. Wow. Anybody got the Men at Work song? It's a mistake. I mean, that might be the theme song for the Dolphins this year. It's a mistake. Mike McDaniel didn't get to play in on time. It's a mistake. Be happy. We'll get it right some year. Zach is happy that they don't ride him anymore. He rides MILFs. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I mean, he's not doing that anymore. But he's happy now. Why would you want a maniac like, Andy Reid being a perfectionist behind the scenes? I don't know why. Why? It's a mistake. Yeah. That's it. That's just that's the theme song now. That's where we're going with the Dolphins. I'm happy for Zach, dude, because there's a lot of us out there. I'm not one of them, but there's a lot of you out there that are working jobs that you're not enjoying. Zach is really enjoying himself. And I'm happy for him, dude. I mean, you should be happy for him. He can make mistakes here and it's all right. It'll all be good. Don't worry, Zach. You'll get them next time. Just kind of the way it goes, Zach. You'll be good, buddy. Wow. The year we have to go through. That is just crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. All right. Big O, why is the World Cup bogus to you? Because it was created by our the trophy stays with the White House. It's just a bullshit tournament that they came up for money, bro. Just nothing about it. You're not winning anything. Are you winning the World Cup? Are you winning Copa America? Are you winning the CONCACAF? Are you winning the MLS Cup? Are we just coming up with cups? Oh, Leagues Cup. Oh, we beat a Mexican team. Wow. You get my drift now, my brother? How many cups are you going to make? Come on, dude. I bet you didn't even know that the government keeps the trophy. It's a money grab for FIFA and the U.S. Come on, man. Whatever, dude. Let's see. The bet is Indiana spread at +9.5, says Juan. All games have been close, and I don't see any reason why this will be a blowout. Juan, by the way, is not a gambling expert, so you bet at your own risk. I'm going to, I use a disclaimer for myself. I'm not an expert in anything. And so I want to make sure Juan is covered also. All right. So if you win, you thank Juan. And if you lose, you blame yourself. Okay. Got your back, Juan. Rosendo says, I'm enjoying the Panthers run. Well, you better. But I have a feeling they will allow Marchand to walk and keep Bennett and Ekblad. Rosendo, whatever they do, I'm at a point where I trust Zito. We've won 2. If this is the case, you win the cup. You've won 2. You've gone to 3 in a row. Whatever that guy says, whatever he does, Sean, you're a witness. A lot of you that watch the show, people were complaining about the Marchand acquisition and the Seth Jones acquisition, and yours truly was like, no, dude, no. If Zito got him, there's a reason, and there you go. And all those people that are complaining about Marchand and Jones haven't said a goddamn word. So when people know what they're doing, I'm just going to take my hands off. I used to do that with the Heat. I used to say, no, man, Riley knows. He knows what he's doing. I'm good. But the last 10 years, I'm sorry. It's like a tsunami of mistakes from the Heat organization. A fucking tsunami of mistakes. And Spo has made him look better. So now I got to question him. Like everybody else in town. But right now, I don't question Zito. So if he keeps Bennett and let's go with Marchand, or if he keeps Marchand and let's go with Ekblad, so be it, dude. So be it. I personally, out of the 3, would let go of Ekblad. That's just me. I appreciate everything he's done, but he's very injury prone. I could go get another defenseman. You had him missed. He was suspended for 20 games and then missed a couple more playoff games. You can replace that guy, I believe. Anybody going to disagree with me? If I tell you, you got to lose one of the 3, Ekblad, Marchand, or Bennett, who you losing? Go ahead. There's 112 watching right now. And please smash the hell out of the like button. Smash it. I'm telling you right now, Ekblad, Bennett, and Marchand, you can only sign 2. I'm dropping Ekblad at the drop of a dime. Appreciate everything you did. We'll retire your jersey. We thank you, all that. And but I'm going to keep Bennett and Marchand. I can replace Ekblad if you can keep 2 of the 3. Okay, I don't know. I don't do the man's job, but I'm at a point right now where when Marchand and Jones were acquired and people were complaining or criticizing, I was like, no, dude, Zito's on a roll. Let him go. Whatever he's doing right now, he knows what the hell he's doing. And so I'll go with whatever he says. If he has to let go of Marchand or Bennett or Ekblad or whatever it is, and he's got a plan, it is what it is. If he keeps 1 of the 3, 2 of the 3, then great. I don't care. You have to trust them. At this point, they're the only franchise in town that all the moves they're making pretty much pay off. You know what I'm saying? They're the only franchise in town that's doing that. The guy that's coming up now used to cover a franchise that used to do that 10 years ago. Last decade. Let's get to our Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report with the one and only Ira Winderman.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right. Good morning, Ira. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing well, sir. And for those who listen to this just on the podcast and didn't catch your previous segment, I do want to chime in because I try to be a man about all sports.
Oh, you are. That's right. You are.
If you asked me about Bennett,
by the way, you're one of the few writers that actually follows all sports, because I've known you for 30 years.
And I've done all sports.
Well, no, but not only that you've done, but dude, you're a real sports fan. I see that in you. You don't just follow for half-ass. You actually know your shit, whether it's soccer or hockey or tennis or whatever the hell. You know your shit, dude. That's why you could always do shows at QAM better than most writers out there, because, as you know, I'm not going to tell you to name names or anything, but when I get to talk sports with other writers from their outside of their beats, you kind of get to see that they're too busy, because it's really hard outside of a beat. That's the other thing, and I do sympathize with that. When you follow a beat, it really takes up all your time.
Consuming. It's absolutely consuming.
People like you and Jason Cole are fucking freaks, dude. You're freaks.
Like sports? Enjoy sports?
You're freaks. Because I could either one of you guys, I could have a conversation about any sport with you.
But I was going to say, before I came on, Big O was talking about the Panthers obviously going to be in a salary cap crunch in a hard cap league. And he was talking about Bennett, Ekblad, and Marchand if you only had to keep two of the three. And he was excising Ekblad. So just real quick, my thought is you excise Marchand for this reason.
Okay.
Teams that are winners and have shown they can deliver championship hopes to players will always be able to cycle back at the next trade deadline, buyout deadline, and find their player. So when you're talking about a third-line player who's obviously was a career first-line player, there will be another Marchand. And if you look at the history, Big O, of the Panthers, they always do this. They always find their guy. It's always a guy. So when you wind up in the offseason and they lose their players, we saw a whole bunch of Stanley Cup rings going to players who visited this year. They'll do it again. Bill Zito will do it again next year, because I'm not overstating it, but because of the no tax, because of the location of the team, and because just like the Heat with Birdman and others, the success, players will want to in February get away from their other team. And there is no league like the NHL that moves more players ahead of their contracts than the NHL. So there's going to be a player. So my thought is this. You have a guy like Bennett, who's just really become the heart of the team. Looks like he's going to win the Conn Smythe. You have a player like Ekblad, who's just been a lifer here, and that does matter because he bridges the generation. You'll get your next Marchand. There'll be another guy sold off. There'll be a JT Miller from Vancouver. There'll be someone else anyway. So my thought is, stay with what you have in this stability. You will find your guy at the trade deadline next year, and you'll have a better idea also of who it needs to be. Because just like you're always telling me, you bring back the 37-year-olds, eventually those 37-year-olds just get a little bit more hurt.
Yes, but and this is beautiful, because you're going to lead me into an absolutely awesome segue. Okay, first of all, the reason why I say Ekblad, and this is what happens on this show a lot, okay? I compartmentalize my emotions.
Fair.
And I don't fall in love with a player when I know that there's time to move on. And so Ekblad is a guy that had to serve a 20-game suspension for a PED. Okay. And this is a guy that's had injuries all throughout his career.
That's reasonable.
A shitload of time. I don't trust his body anymore. And the fact that he got caught taking PEDs at this point in his career scares the shit out of me. So what Marshawn is giving me is much more priceless than what Ekblad can give me, and I can go find me another Ekblad because, like you said, Zito will get another guy. Get me another Ekblad. I don't know if I can just find another Marshawn who fits so perfect with what they're doing. In a 2-year contract, he probably could be productive, whereas Ekblad, I don't know.
Maybe after all those blizzards, Marchand doesn't fit anymore because he doesn't fit. So maybe he needs to look that way also. Look, it's a good
decision. That's what they do here. No, he's not going to be. He's not that.
I'm just saying.
My text is because I have fun with you on the Carter Verhaeghe a Tyler Hero thing, which I still have no idea why you keep picking Hero over Verhaeghe. But anyways, it is what it is. But now you have like fallen in love with Tyler because 1 year he stayed healthy. No, dude, I'm sorry.
It has to start somewhere, and you have to show it to me. And he did show it to you.
I'm not willing to roll the dice with him. First of all, I don't think he's the player I need. And second of all, he's an injury-prone player.
Okay,
so if I
Bigo,
unload both guys and get picks, I'm doing it.
As we segue into our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report, my point to you is, and I think there's a compromise, even with the irascible Big O, is this. You don't have to extend Tyler Hero this season. You can wait till next summer. So I'm in full agreement with you on that. I am waiting till next summer. But if he gives me another 70-plus games, I think that's when I'll trust the turn. So I think they're in a good position with Tyler for this reason. You don't have to trade him now. He had a breakout offensive year, cusp of being an all-star. Show it to me again. Think about this point exactly 1 year ago, Big O. All Pat Riley said to Jimmy Butler is, God damn it, show up for work, and then we'll talk extension. And Jimmy Butler didn't show up for work, and Pat Riley proved prescient in that he didn't make that move. He waited. He saw Jimmy was not going to be an everyday player, and he moved him out for whatever assets he can get. Do the same with Tyler. But if Tyler Hero, and I think, Big O, you would come around. If Tyler Hero shows up for 75 games this coming season, carries the Heat at a near all-star level, helps them get to an actual playoff berth, I think you would have to be at least a little bit more open-minded. A little bit more.
I would have to see dog games. I don't think he's a dog.
Problem.
I need he scores, but he scores and it's not
at the critical times, at the clutch times. I get that.
I need a son of a bitch.
Give him a year. Let him.
Hardaway will cut your heart out if he has the opportunity, or Alonzo Mourning, or Ray Allen, or
he's young. He's a child. Give him time. Give him time. But Big O, for all the draft picks you want him to.
Wade was an SOB from day one. This is
you're talking about an all-time second best guard in NBA history, third best, fourth best.
And at another level, this is why the LeBron, Michael Jordan argument is so fucking ridiculous that you can never compare the two, because Michael was ice and was an assassin when he was a sophomore in college, whereas it took LeBron the 6th game in a Heat uniform against the damn Celtics to become that guy. And that's what I'm talking about. So I want my guy to be a son of a bitch right from the get-go.
And it's hard to find son of a bitches in the draft. And if you keep trading for draft choices, do you realize how fortunate the Heat were to get Tyler Hero late in the lottery and a player of his skill? That doesn't happen. There is a lot of other
guys happen like that. Like SGA, like how many? There's not a lot.
There's not a lot. So if you get a Tyler, you try to make it work, or at least you give it a chance. That's all I'm saying. My compromise to you is this. Go through this season, see how it plays out, and next June say, you know what, kid? You're not a max player. This is what you are, or else enjoy free agency. Maybe we waited too long and didn't get assets instead, which I know is what you want them to get. But I think you tried to collect usable pieces to get you somewhere. I still think Tyler can be that. Again, of the two, and I think I'm very much in the minority of this. If you're telling me, Ira, I want you to mind draft choices for the future, I'm moving Bam instead for one simple reason. This is a scoring league. You need offense. Offense for the Miami Heat has been incredibly hard to find. Look how hard it was to find for the Orlando Magic, to the point that they had to give up 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bane, who has never been an all-star, and likely never will be an all-star. Offense is hard to find. The Heat found it in Tyler. I want that tree to grow a little more. I want to see a little bit more. I think the Heat wait, Tyler waits, give me a season, decision next June to be revealed here on the Acura Pembroke Pines report. That's what I would do.
And the only thing worth mining. Anyway, let's get back to this. All right. So I read, I believe it was the Steinland, that Phoenix is not asking for more than maybe a first rounder, a decent first rounder, and maybe a player or something. So the Heat becomes a player in all of this now, if that's really the truth. If it's not, because he's going to be turning 37, they're not expecting multiple first rounders.
Pending free agent.
Before I ask you my main question, is there truth to this report?
Absolutely. It's not truth. You know, a lot of times, and there are some great national writers, but sometimes you pull back from these reports and you just say to yourself, that's just common sense. The guy is 37. He's not 32. He's at a different place than when he was with Brooklyn and they made the trade or leaving Golden State in free agency, number one. Number two, this is not Damian Lillard on the trade market still with 3 years left on his contract, where even if you're small market Milwaukee, I mean, the injury is one thing, but you know you were getting him for 3 seasons. This is a guy there's no player option. There's no right of first refusal or anything. This is a guy whose contract expires after this season. So you are not going to be an outside team and take a chance on an older player. This is not Kawhi going from the Spurs to the Raptors at a young age, hoping he stays. This is an old guy with an expiring contract. This is not the commodity value of even a Desmond Bane.
And he wants a 2-year, 30
years, about 120 or so, and he will get it wherever he goes. And you can mock all you want. Big O, Orlando Alzagari, host of the Acura Pembroke Pines report. Kevin Durant averaged 26.6 points per game last season. Kevin Durant stood 6th in the league in scoring average. If this was a typical job interview where you are not allowed to ask someone's age and you looked at his resume and what you did, you'd say to yourself, holy crap, that guy's available? Big O, 26.6 point per game scores do not come along that often. Again, look at what Orlando offered yesterday for Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane averages basically the same as, drumroll please, Bam Adebayo. 19 points, 18 points, and they paid all that for that. Sometimes I think you live in the short term if the right short-term player is there. I think this could be that case. 26. Can you imagine if the Heat last season had a 26.6 points per game scorer? So much would have changed for them.
I get it. If you're a Durant away from a title, then you do it. The Heat are nothing. Even with Durant, they're a middling team. They're not going anywhere. They're probably going to have to give up a player besides the pick.
Oh, absolutely. Jovic, I know who you're a big fan of. Hopefully not where, possibly. But Big O, I want to take you back to this. You're saying the Heat are not a contender, okay, even with Kevin Durant. No. You know who wasn't a contender this year for months and months and months in the East? Indiana Pacers. Yeah. And where are the Indiana Pacers as we tape this right now? They are 2 games away from winning a championship. This is the old punchy shot.
I see a lot of balls, a lot of toughness on Indiana.
You know what? You add Kevin Durant and everyone's testicles will grow.
Dude, the Heat are a bunch of softies.
I think you add Kevin Durant and it changes the emboldenedness. Number one, it does that. But number 2, that's why when people go, why would Kevin Durant want to go to a middling team? You know why, Big O? Because they're in the East. And in the East, you don't need to be great. The Heat didn't need to be great with these same players just 2 years ago in the NBA Finals against Denver. You give yourself a chance. The Indiana Pacers are not a great team. Last year's Boston Celtics were a great, great team with Brown, with Tate, with Porzingis, with Holiday, with everything they had going on there. They were a great team. This is not a conference right now where you need to be great. You can give yourself an Indiana Pacers punchers-like chance. You know what, Big O? Again, you and I disagree. I kind of like to live my life in the moment.
I get it, but this is the question that I was going to ask you. the Heat are just trying to be relevant.
Always
That's
trying to be relevant.
They're trying to be somewhat relevant, but they're not trying to be a championship caliber team.
They want to be. They're trying to be.
Yeah, but this is not champion. I mean, it's so elementary. It's so easy to figure out. You're not championship caliber.
Bingo, who's great in the East now? Who's great in the East now? Who is the East equivalent of Oklahoma City or even Denver?
Ira, winning the championship means you have to beat the East and the West, my friend.
Yes, but you have to get there.
It doesn't matter if you're the Dolphins in 1985 and Marino lights you up and you get out of your shitty conference because the NFC's the real conference and they hand you your ass. And it doesn't matter if you're the Heat and you get through and you get lucky that two of the teams or stars are injured and you get through the Celtics only to get trashed by Denver. So you can say, oh, at least we made the finals.
Let's see what the Pacers do.
I get it. The Heat have made the finals as a legitimate contender, and they've made the finals as an upstart that had no shot whatsoever. So I understand that. Now, if you want to go down that road of, well, it's the East, we might be able to get out of the East, but there's no chance you'll beat the West, then
never know till you know. Let's see what Indiana does. They're not great. They might. Let's wait and see.
Indiana is Indiana. They have to do things that way. They have no choice. They're not a free agent destination. They have not created that environment because you're Indiana. So they have to draft and trade their way like Utah does, like Cleveland does. Miami is a destination place, but unfortunately, they have failed to now create the avenues of the new system, which is draft picks and space. And because they don't have that, they have the place, but they don't have the space.
I agree with draft picks. I don't agree with space. This is not a free agency league. When you look every year at the players you think are going to become free agents, and then everyone are re-ups, including, I think, Luka Doncic at some point in August.
But it's nice to have that option too.
But if you want to collect draft choices to package draft choices, I have no qualms with that. However, the teams that have packaged draft choices, 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, God bless him. Where are the Knicks right now? I don't see them out there. Orlando, 4 first-round picks with Desmond Bane. We will see. So you could hoard what you want. But a lot of times that hoarding, you wind up with, Rudy Gobert. So you have to be careful also.
So what you're saying is, since the Heat suck in the front office the last 10 years, giving them a bunch of picks, they don't know what they're doing anyway. So what the hell?
What I'm saying is that they maintain relevance through all kinds of weather, like our Gator fans would say. That's what I'm saying, that they've kept themselves there.
Listen, if you're stupid enough to trade for Terry Rozier and give away a first-round pick, you'll be stupid enough to
for Orlando.
And you'll be stupid enough to make the Desmond Bane move. So actually, you know what, Ira, you're right, and I'm wrong on this one. The Heat should stay status quo and go get Durant because they're too incompetent anyways to use the picks the right way.
No, because they can realize they can live in the moment and still have a future. I'm sticking with that.
Ira, they have no future, right? Like, there's nothing here. Like, they're going nowhere.
How many times have you said that over the years? How many times going into 2020, going into 23?
The last years, I've been saying it over and over. They're not going anywhere, and they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. That guy that coaches them makes it look so much better than what it really is, dude. He just makes it look way better. If you had a lesser coach, people would be screaming. They would be going crazy. I don't know, man. It's just they're desperate to just stay somewhat relevant. They don't care about it.
And enjoyable and competitive and giving themselves a chance, and God bless them.
I just don't. You've won championships. You're in tight. If you're the Dolphins, people hate hearing reset and all that because that's what you've been doing for 40 years. But if you're the Heat, dude, I have no problem you being boring for the next couple of years and resetting and all that kind of stuff. There's a better end to this than now.
And it has to be the right move at the right price. That's where I'll agree with you. So
Ira, it'll never happen if you don't put yourself in that position to be there.
But I'm saying, even for Kevin Durant, we were just talking about how the price likely has come down. Mark Stein reported it in his Substack. If it's the right price, if you're asking me, I am not one of those people who want to give up multiple first-round picks. I understand the value of those picks. I am not the person that wants to give up both Jovic and Ware. I understand having length and a rookie scale contract in the young player matters. Every trade is about the right price. Orlando has been panned far and wide in many places for giving up too much. The Knicks, for all their bravado of go to your go, gave up too much for Mikal Bridges. What I'm saying, Big O, is this time around and next time around, make the right choice. And I still think more often than not they have. Yes, Terry Rozier, not very good. Did not do very well with that. The last few draft choices, very, very good. Offer the right price, the right price for the right player. And if I could do that with one young prospect, one draft choice, or one heavily protected future draft choice, I go for it because I think it makes Bam better. I think it makes Tyler better.
Is this draft pick? What are we talking about? I don't know shit about this draft.
The draft pick at number 20, I want to get rid of anyway because you owe that pick to Charlotte for the great Terry Rozier trade. I want to protect my future more. You're right. This team right now is either going to go older with a veteran like Durant or has to. You might as well hand it to the youth you already have now. Hand it to Ware, hand it to Jovic, hand it to Hawkins. See what they have. You can't. Pelle Larsson, one of your favorites. You have enough young players to develop. You can't be trying to develop 5-6 players at the same time. If you've noticed at the Sun Sentinel, I've really cut back on my pre-draft coverage because I don't want to be hyping all these number 20s and then telling you a week from now on our Acura Pembroke Pines report or the Heat won't draft at all. And like everyone's been reporting, all the names we typically hear coming through Miami, we're not hearing as many. I think they know the score also. They know this is not their year for draft. They've drafted a first-round pick 3 years in a row. That's so un-Pat Riley-like. Save them for the future. Have them. You still can have an option if you trade for a pick, this number 20 for the future, to have 4 first-round picks available to do an Orlando-like deal, to do almost a Knicks-like deal. You can have it both ways. God bless them.
All right, what else you got going on the Sun Sentinel, sir?
Well, it's like I said, I wrote a column today about how Durant, the price is down because he controls the cards. This is not Damian Lillard. I think this is legitimate. I spoke to a friend who I said, what do you think the odds are? Someone who's in the industry. And he said about 50-50. And I said, you know what? I kind of think it's about that space. I didn't think before. I said, what did you initially think? We both thought it's about 20%. So there is a chance. On the other hand, to sort of move to your point of this isn't the Heat's time, Orlando's going to be really good now with Desmond Bane because they needed the scoring. Suggs is healthy again. Wagner and Banchero weren't healthy for good chunks of last season. So to work in the Orlando Alzagari space, you want to at least try to be competitive for home court in the first round. Well, when you look at it right now, you're looking at Cleveland. You're looking at New York, who's going to step back a little bit with the coach, but still be pretty damn good. We know Indiana is the real deal, like you said, because they have the large testicles. And we know Orlando's going to be good. So anything that he does has to look at those 4 teams, like I wrote in my Ask Ira today, and say, can we, with this move, Durant or someone else, finish better than the Knicks, finish better than the Cavaliers, finish better than the Pacers, finish better than the Magic? That's what the thought process would be. I know you're talking championships. I'm looking at a team that has won 1 playoff game in the last 2 years. The best way to win 2 playoff games or a series, have home court in the first round.
But I'm not talking championship now. I'm talking about if you want to win a championship, you need to tear it completely down so you can build it back up again the right way. The way you're doing it now, it's a Band-Aid. And just to add on this, why it's 50-50 now for Durant, I got to be honest here, Ira, and I hope you're honest too. The line standing to give Durant $125 million for 2 years is very, very tiny.
Because the teams that are linked, like San Antonio and Houston, have their youthful cores in place. And why change that timeline? The Miami Heat's timeline has always been now, whether Orlando Alzagari likes it or not.
Okay, but what is apparently that's why I'm saying the Heat consistently are not taking the intelligent approach. And most are saying, nah, it's all right. Yeah, he was a hell of a player, but we're not going to. He's injury prone and he's 37, and we're going to be stuck with this year and 2 more years. No thanks. And that's what I'm saying as a Heat fan. No thanks, because to me, that's a progress stopper. Because if he starts getting injured, now you've got a big old $60 million chunk that's just sitting there doing nothing for you. I don't see this as a smart move in any way. And the only reason the Heat are actually a player, it's because very few teams are stupid enough to make this move.
Well, and I'm going to use an analogy that'll definitely get you to sign off this segment and to say it this way. I would rather have a quality, pre-owned, used Acura than a beater. So what I'm saying is, if you see a quality product out there, I think you make a move in that direction. And with that, thank you for this week's Acura of Pembroke Pines report.
My wife's RDX is 15 years old, and it runs a lot better.
She has the Kevin Durant of RDXs right there. Point made, I win.
And it doesn't break down like Durant does. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
Got to push product. Thank you, Big O.
You got it. Yes, you do. There you go. And, of course, Acura of Pembroke Pines getting it done. Oh, baby, the ZDX, get electrified. $439 a month right now. Take advantage. We've got all kinds of deals going on for you. That's why we tell you, get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. 17th anniversary sale going on. The Integra right now, $339 a month. 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ZDX, like I told you, 0% financing for 72 months. The RDX, the one my wife drives, 4.9% financing for 60 months, only $419 a month. Check it out. They've got a fleet of certified pre-owned vehicles. We were there on Friday. The lot is overflowing. Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the amazing people. You own or lease one, go see Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber. They do an outstanding job at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
107,675 right now. Bitcoin climbing back up to 108, bitch. We're about 330 away. Michael Saylor today bought 10,100 Bitcoin for a total of $1 billion. $1.05 billion in Bitcoin strategy bought today. Are you listening to me? I don't know. You got any Bitcoin yet? You don't? The hell are you doing? How stupid can you be? What, do you got cash in your bank? Loser. 10,100 Bitcoin, 1.05 billion at 104,080 per coin. They now own 592,100 Bitcoin for a bank of $41.84 billion. The average right now is at 70,666. It is the number of the beast. Anyway, Michael Saylor kicking that ass. You know, for years, we've been telling you about Bitcoin now. This is our 6th year trying to educate you on the greatest asset in the world. You got that, boss? And I've told you, dollar, not good. No, very inflationary. They print 10% of it every year. Each one of our presidents, the last 4 presidents we've had, they have killed us. They've buried us. Banks stealing your money. Well, It's not their fault. It's just they're part of the money system, which is not good. But they've all, even the president a year ago, I'm a dollar guy, not a big. His sons got to him, and finally they convinced him. But, and then banks, everybody was defending money. Remember, for 4 years, I was ripping Elizabeth Warren and Biden and Yellen and Gensler because they were doing dirty shit to you people out there. Not to me, but to you all out there. Okay? I beat them. I don't know about you guys, but I beat them. Most of you, if you're dealing in dollars, you're losing. You lose every day. So Bank of America now has come out. Sean, are you sitting down right now? Are you? Okay. Because I've been wailing on the I've been wailing on this. Now, did you see Bank of America's quote now? After everything the banks, Janet Yellen, Biden, Warren, all these assholes have trashed Bitcoin, most of the Democratic Party, okay? The Ro Khannas of the world and the Democratic Party, they're few and far between, okay? After all that, Bank of America says Bitcoin is a once in a 1,000-year technology. After telling you that, Bitcoin is, the IMF, the International Money Fund, that's the money fund for the world. They're the ones that lend money to countries and stuff like that. They're anti-Bitcoin, but they're tied to the U.S. Reserve. That's why. They've been all anti-Bitcoin. Now we have an administration that is pro-Bitcoin, so that's kind of changing. But after all the FUD, all the misinformation that we've been telling you, they're telling you is misinformation for 6 years now, at least on my show. Okay, this is the 6th year that we're in this, telling you about Bitcoin. And these assholes come out now to say, oh, it's a once in a 1,000-year technology. No shit, Sherlock. If you're not on yet, folks, can't help you. Can't help you. But, hey, I did my part. I warned you. I warned you ahead of time. And those of you that got on it early are winning. Big time. Remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you. Always appreciate it. What else do we have going on? Let's see. A friend of mine is sending me a text. Oh, man. Okay. What do we got here on the chat board? Let's get to the chat board. Let's check out what you all are talking about. Let's see. Morning on. Shame to ruin a good Men at Work song with mediocrity. Yeah, it's a shame. It is. It is. What's God, what's that song from the second album that that's my favorite song of theirs. Oh God, now I'm brain farting, but there's a Men at Work song from the second album that I absolutely love. They're kind of underrated, actually. Let's see. Zito is reaching Godfather status. Hey, bro, with this win, he's a Godfather. Alexis says, I agree, lose Ekblad. Tony Zag says, Ekblad gone for me. Noah says, Ekblad is really tough to replace. He's showing his worth on this run. Yeah, he is. I think we can get him. We can get another one. And he's very injury prone, bro. Ekblad 100%. Steven agrees. Without Marchie, this run won't happen with Chucky being injured. Yep. Jeremy says, Ira, if I was the Heat, I would disband the whole team and keep Jovic and Jamie and get rid of. No, you got to keep Ware, and I'd keep Pallel Larson too. No. There's some young guys that they don't cost us any money, dude. Jeremy, you got all these young guys. I keep them. They're all minimum salary players. They don't cost shit. I'm getting rid of the two big salaries, and then you're stuck with Rozier one more year. That's what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm loading up with picks. I don't understand this Kevin Durant shit. I just don't. It's like the Heat are desperate to just stay relevant with Kevin Durant. You know, Oscar, thank you for the late Father's Day. I appreciate that. I had a great Father's Day yesterday with my daughter and my wife and everything. So it was fantastic. It was fantastic. We ended the night at Odyssey Arcade playing some video games because I love playing video games. So just playing a little Robotron, playing a little Galaga, Burger Time. What else did I play yesterday? Joust. The hockey, the air hockey. I always play that with my daughter. What else? I think that's about it. Well, you know what? I actually ran into there's this one about serving beer and you got to slide the beer. I've never played that game, but it was right next to the Galaga while we were playing. And so my wife plays and she plays really well Galaga. So whenever each of us play, you're going to wait, So the machine next to me had a couple free credits. They just left it there. So I started playing that beer game. They went really fast because I suck. It's an old game. I've seen it there forever, but all I know is I was terrible at it. That's for sure. Context says KD is washed. We're not winning anything with him. I know, man. It's like the Heat don't want to tear it down to the bolts because they refuse to be irrelevant. And you're the Heat, dude. You're a championship organization. You're awesome. You're entitled to take a couple of steps back, dude. The Heat punished themselves in a ridiculous fashion, bro. Oh, it's beyond us to reset. No, it's not, dude. It's what's required in this world now. And at least some of us are smart basketball fans that we see the landscape and we understand you got to take a couple of steps back to take a few steps forward. But what you're doing now, staying, stuck in the middle, you're so Dolphins now. Is that really what you want to be? You're good enough to beat the scrub teams, but not good enough to beat the upper echelon teams. Now you're stuck like the Dolphins because you barely want to make the playoffs. The Heat, what they don't understand is they're lowering their own standards by the way they're doing things. Actually, by taking the 5 steps back, you go and explain to your fan base, hey, this is what we have to do in order to reset and give us a better window of opportunity to become a championship caliber team. Just making the playoffs is not good enough for us. That's the message that has to be sent, because that's all you're doing. I don't understand any of this. I really don't. Dude, you've given us a quarter century of excellence. It's all right. You can take some steps back, man. You've spoiled us with everything that you can possibly spoil us with. Now you're entering and you're keeping yourself in this just black hole of mediocrity. You're entering in it and you're just stuck in the abyss that the Dolphins have been stuck in for 40 years, bro. Trust me, that's not where you want to be, Miami Heat. God, it's truly amazing how a championship organization has completely lost their way. Keep Mitchell, Pelel, and Ware. The rest can go somewhere else. True FinFan says the Miami Heat are competing for a playoff spot in the present. Let's see. Tony Zags. I need a hey Thaler. Hey Thaler. What else? Brett Dodger starting early is the key for any investment to take advantage of long-term growth. Amen. But you know what, Brett? The sad part is they see it at 105, 107 now, and they go, oh, I'm too late. Okay, so how many things are you going to invest in that are going to 15x from now to 2030? And then you tell them that, and they're like, they don't believe you either. So the problem is, Brett, you deal with it too, because you've been with me here for years now. When it's at 16, they're not believing me that it's going to be 100. I don't know. I mean, Sean did when it was like at 50 and I was telling everybody it would be 100 by the end of the year last year. I got all kinds of shit, right? Remember when it was 50 and I said, it'll be 100 by the end of December, and it got there by November, I believe. And then it went down a little bit, obviously. But it hit the spot way before the end of the year. And nobody believes you. And the problem is, Brett, I have a friend of mine that recently got into Bitcoin. And so one of the things I've learned now over the years, I tell everybody that wants to get into Bitcoin, first learn about our money. You need to first learn about how bad it is with our money and what they're doing with our money. Okay, now you've learned what they've done with our money. Okay, now go learn about Bitcoin. And then that's when you really understand it. But first, you have to understand how bad our situation is. Okay, because Brett, that you always get the argument from people, oh, Bitcoin, okay, what's it backed by? And then you just turn it on them and say, well, what's the dollar backed by? A printer? Well, Bitcoin's backed by energy. It costs $60,000, $70,000 in order to create a coin. And if you've noticed what's going on in the internet, what's going on with AI, what's going on with computer power. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, grids get overloaded. Oh, did you notice that computing is actually value and power and energy? That's value in our world. How much a computer can actually handle is value. How much energy you can amass is value. The dollar amasses no energy. Why? They just hit a printer and print 10% of it every year. Whereas Bitcoin, you must buy it or mine it. You have to earn it. They don't understand those things. They don't understand that there are miners and there are not verificators. They're called what's it called now? Anyway, you have people that are on the network constantly adding value to the network because they are making money doing the transactions. They are making money mining it. They are making money selling it. They are making money, obviously, on the blockchain and crossing over in different products. So the value is all there, and the value is there's only 21 million. It's not a money printer that, like last week, they couldn't sell their bonds and they had 20 billion and they had to buy it back. And how do they buy it back? They don't have it in the bank. They have to print it. So you just devalued our currency 20 billion more. And they just approved in March a $2.2 trillion package because they're maintaining the same spending levels. And now they want to add another 2.5. That's 5 trillion more to the debt that will be incurred. That's the more money you put out on the street, the less it's going to be worth. These are things that they don't ever understand. So look what happened over the weekend. The Orange Man wanted to have his birthday party, so he spent $45 million of our money to have squeaky tanks come across the street for a small little crowd that came. Millions across the country protested him. A couple thousand went to go celebrate a stupid party. By the way, just so you'll know, in this country, we don't celebrate with tanks. We don't need to display our armory. That's communist countries that do that shit. Okay. You know how we honor our military? People like Sean, why don't you give him the medical coverage that he deserves? The man is walking around with a knee that, you know what they tell him? Oh, no, you can walk around until you break down, and then we'll replace it. But meanwhile, he's got to walk around in pain, and he served for us. You know how instead we're taking more stuff away from him. This administration, like every other one, just taking more and more away from him. You know how we honor our military? With pensions, with top-notch health care. Not one person that serves should ever have to even wonder if they're going to get medical coverage. No. They should have top-notch coverage without questions asked. Just done. Do we do that? No. Do we provide for them when they come back? No. What, a stupid-ass parade? We're $37 trillion in the hole, and this clown spends $45 million so we can hear squeaky tanks go by for 100 clowns that are there at the parade. So the more you understand, it doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. They're both going to power the shit out of this because they're all going to spend in their own way and overspend. Doesn't matter if they're red or blue, they will overspend. And this weekend was another perfect example of just overspending for no reason at all. Okay? Give our military the medical coverage that they deserve. Give them the respect that they deserve, not some stupid-ass parade when it was really done for some little man's ego, not for anything else. Pathetic. Anyway. All right, here we go. What else do we have? The little ball of hate, Marchand is the best trade deadline pickup of the last 15 years. Genius. Yeah, you got to go with it, bro. I would trade Bam and Tyler, says Lenny, for picks and build around Ware, Pele, Jovic, Jaquez, and Davion Mitchell and keep it moving forward. KD is a fossil at this point, and no, I am not trading Ware for KD. Exactly. I'm with you. Let's see. Bitcoin, don't they press a button for the energy? Well, I don't know what that means. Cosa Nostra, all soccer, football has become too commercialized. Too many tournaments. Yeah, this is a bullshit tournament, but whatever. Military vets should get a pension somewhat like gold-plated pensions that the politicians get. We should treat our military like gold, bro. Okay? All these people come back, and they come back sometimes effed up, or they come back screwed up physically, and they suffer for the rest of their lives, and they got to struggle for a goddamn wheelchair. Like, what the hell is that, dude? The man struggles to walk because he blew out his hip or knee or whatever it is, and he's stuck to a wheelchair, and he's got to fight to go get the damn wheelchair. Like, what are we doing? We throw away money for all kinds of garbage, and we don't take care of the people that protect us. Like, stupid. Teachers, policemen, we trash these people too. And then you want people to serve, and then you don't treat them well, and then you don't end up with the top-notch people and all those things. because if you don't treat people well, then you're going to get a different kind of person there. And that's really not what you want as a public servant. It's just disgusting. Just is. He should have had to stay awake. He did fall asleep. Man, it was pretty boring. Pretty lame. No more Dolphins banging. Yes. No more Dolphins banging the drum, please. Tomorrow, there better not be a Dolphin. Okay? There better not be a Dolphin. That's all I got to say. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Ocala Joe, thank you, sir, for the love on Cash App. I appreciate that. It says Ocala Joe, preach, Big O. That parade was for a Dodger. It was a joke. I mean, come on, dude. Give me a fucking break. It's just a clown parade. That's all that was. And the amazing part is that the protest around the country just like neutered everything they did there. There was, I mean, it was crazy the amount of people that showed up for all those protests. The only thing I'll be critical of them too. How many of them voted and how many of them voted for Trump? And now they're at a parade. Now they're at a protest. I hate to say it, but here in Miami, a lot of those Cubans and Venezuelans that were out there protesting, well, they didn't do their homework. It's like an idiot friend of mine, because I rip both parties all the time. And he goes, dude, you're Cuban. You gotta stay on the team. I'm like, what do you mean team? Republicans? I'm like, bro, I'm an American. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. Screw those parties. Oh, that's not right, dude. And I go, oh, so you're just a tool. It doesn't matter who's there. You're voting for him. I go, no, my brother, I've got a brain. I use my brain. I may not be the smartest person in the room, but I know bad presidents when I see them. And when I see George Bush and Obama and Biden and Trump, I know what I'm seeing. I know what's going on. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm not here to defend either party. I'm here to bury both. Okay? Not here to defend either. I'm here to bury both, because both are burying us. So, is what it is. But wow. Just crazy shit. Crazy shit. It's just a lot of people are lazy and they don't really follow politics. They're just part of some party and they just go along with whatever's there and they don't really know. After the Panthers blew Game 4, I was pessimistic about Game 5. Well, Ted, if you listen to our show, okay, we told you when they took a 2-1 lead, doesn't mean shit. People got high. Oh, we're going to dominate. And then they lose Game 4. And then I said, doesn't mean shit either now. I told you Game 3 didn't mean shit if you don't win Game 4. Now you lost it. Doesn't mean shit either. They can go on and win the next 2 games and win this in 6. It's exactly what I said. So don't go the other way now after Game 4, which a lot of people then went the other way, and then they went and won Game 5. They're playing a great team. The Panthers are better. Not by much, but they're better. And maybe they are wearing on them like they do in every series on everyone that they face. And we're going to find that out tomorrow night. But the one thing that I don't do is I get too high or too low on this, because it's hockey, bro. And hockey is it's a strange animal. And hockey players are people that have toughness and character like you will not see in any other pro sport. Sorry to say. They give up a lot faster than the other sports. Not here, man. These people will fight to the. This is very Spartacus, and this is very fight to the death. And I would not count out the Oilers tomorrow night. I like my Panthers' chances tomorrow night. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, yeah, we've got it. You know what I'm saying? I feel good now because the Panthers have 2 chances to win 1 game, where the Oilers have to win both. So obviously I like my team's chances. But I have a healthy amount of respect for the game, the reality of it, and the Oilers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why at no time you've seen me get overconfident or negative about it, because you just got to let it play out, dude, and hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm hoping for tomorrow night. I'm hoping tomorrow night is the night that they are able to close it out and get it done. But if they happen to lose a tight one, I'm not going to be shocked here. I'm going to be a little pissed. Okay. But then I know they can also win on the road because they've done it more than anyone else in NHL history. Nobody's won more road games in the playoffs than the Panthers since they've been on the road every single round. And if you're going to win the cup, you're going to have to win a lot of road games. So good shit. It's just got to stick with them, man. Got to stick with them. It's going to be a hell of a battle. I like our chances. Let's see. Bro, the Marlins are in a 3-game heater. That's it, baby. That's it. They beat the Washington Nationals. Maybe they can play them often. The Versailles Cubans were now probably at the protest banging the pots. Yeah, those dumbasses were probably there. Yeah. And I can only call you stupid, by the way. Cuban, Venezuelan, you voted for Trump and now you're shocked that this is going on and they're sending away some of your friends or family members. You're just a fucking idiot, dude. You didn't do your homework. You're a dumbass. He told you he was going to, deport everybody. And sure enough, doesn't matter. It's not the people that just crossed the border. Obviously, what Biden did was criminal, allowing all those people. But he's getting people out that have been here 5, 10, 15, 20 years, committing no crimes. They're working just like your father, your mother, your grandfather, your grandmother, your great-grandfather, your great-grandmother, your great-great-grandfather, your great-great-grandmother, and your other family members. Lots of them came here, were here illegal, fought their way through the system, hired lawyers, became citizens, got their green cards, worked their asses off, didn't get in trouble. That's the American way, dude. And we are kicking a whole shit ton of these people out. People that were just like my father in the 50s, who got here and he wasn't an American. And he had to go through the process. He went to the army and all that, and he finally became an American like everybody else. And in the middle of the night, in 61 or 62, I think maybe, something like that, whatever it was, he went back to Cuba in the middle of the night, brought my mom back. He got here like in 59 or something, 58. He was here for a few years, all that. After he established himself, he got a boat, boom, went in the middle of the night, picked up my mom, brought her back. She was illegal here. She's an American citizen. An American citizen. She speaks English perfectly. A little bit of an accent, but she knows English inside and out. Worked for an American company for like 30 years. Like all immigrants, dude. And we're kicking these people out. This is what we're kicking out. We're all in for kicking out the criminals. Every one of us wants to kick out the criminals. We don't care where you came from or what. If you're a criminal, bro, get the hell out of our country. But we're also kicking out decent, hard-working people, bro. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's gross. You know what I mean? But whatever. You idiots. You're morons. That's all. You don't do your homework. You're stupid. You're just sheep. That's all. And now you're out there protesting. You're an idiot. That's all. And I hope you look in the mirror and you call yourself an idiot, first and foremost. That's all. It's disgusting what we're doing. You can kick out all the criminals you want. You're kicking out a person that is working at a hotel or picking fruit or whatever, and they're just making money to survive and feed their families, send some money back. That's what we're kicking out, bro. That's what we're kicking out. We're kicking out people that are just working. And by the way, they're helping our country move. You're actually ruining, you're actually creating unemployment problems now. Just like you've created a shit ton of tourist problems, because we're making a lot, billions less in tourism now. Tourism is down all over. So go ahead. You know, too many of you, you don't follow your money, you don't follow the real politics, and you pick these stupid sides, and none of them care about you. But go ahead, keep being a Democrat or keep being a Republican and keep thinking that those people give a shit about you. Okay. Anyway. By the way, have you seen Antonio Brown? If you find Antonio Brown, stay away from him. You never know what would happen, actually. I'm just saying. If you see him, just stay away from him. But he should turn himself in. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Turn yourself in, bro. He's blaming the media now. Did you see that? Of course, it's always the media's fault. We're the ones that allegedly took the gun away from the security guard and then shot at a dude twice. That wasn't shooting at you. But, you know, go ahead and do it. So Antonio's dumbass says, how the F you go from being victimized unto an attempt to murder. You see, they control the media. Brown said in part of the post, he blames the situation on racism. Yeah. It's all racism. It's what it is. Yes, sir. Racism. 107,522 Bitcoin. We climbing. We climbing. We climbing. See if we can get to 108 here. Would be nice. Music history from Dougie Fresh. When John Lennon first heard B-52's Rock Lobster, he swore it was Yoko making the noises. He contacted the band and they confirmed that Yoko was their inspiration, Rock Lobster. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Roberto Luongo should bang the drum. I have no problem with that, as long as it's not a Miami Dolphin. That's all. Just don't pick another damn Dolphin. That's it. Stay away from the Dolphins. That's all. When that franchise stops becoming a loser franchise, then you can start using them. Most people that voted for mass deportations would ever consider doing this type of hard work that these desperate people do to make ends meet. I know, it's just we're not kicking out all the right people. You know what I'm saying? Kick out all the scumbags. That's fine with me, but we're kicking out hardworking people and mothers and fathers and tearing them. We took a mother and father and left her like 12-year-old here, because the 12-year-old was born here. But what are we doing? The mother and father is not a drug dealer or anything. They're just hardworking immigrants. Like, our country was made on that, dude. That's the basis of our country. Immigrants. The Indians are the only Americans. The rest of us got here one way or another. We flew, we boated, we floated, whatever it was. You got here, and then you made a life. That's the American way, dude. What Haitians do, what Cubans do, what Salvador, what anybody from El Salvador or Venezuela or wherever you come from, Ireland, England, wherever you came from in the last 250 years. It's like you came from somewhere. Your parents, your grandparents came from somewhere. And then they had to work their way to become a U.S. citizen. Now we're kicking those people out? That doesn't make sense at all. That's what makes our country go. You could be kicking out future CEOs. You could be kicking out future leaders because they all come from immigration one way or another. That's our country. Anyway. Big O, speaking of immigration, do you remember Elian? Yeah. Just another ridiculous thing. Oh, that's a true story. And it featured in the new B-52's documentary. Makes sense. Really? Wow. Yoko. God. That is a trip. Let's see. What else do you have here? Oh, I would only trade for KD if I had a hot tub time machine. It's probably the only way you can make that move. Corso, thank you for the love in the super chat. I didn't see that. Says, thank you, Sean. Hope you're pain-free soon. Yeah, when he gets a freaking knee replaced. We ask Sean, he serves, and then we don't take care of him. Like, what the F? Do we have a doctor out there, by the way, that will volunteer to take care of Sean there? Maybe we can pull it off on the show here, something that the government can pull off for our veterans. It's kind of ridiculous, right? Like I work with one, and I'm watching I'm watching 45 million down the drain. A couple thousand can help Sean. 45 million. How many vets can you fix their ailments for 45 million? And by the way, I got to tell you, I don't believe it's 45 million. I believe it's more, and it's not a number that has to do with his presidency. Very interesting number, 45. How they came up with that flat number. I'm sorry, I'm just me. I'm Anyway, let's see. Be careful speaking truth and facts, Big O. They might send you back to Cuba. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, not those masses. Big O, we treat our vets just as bad here in Canada. Sadly, Trudeau just said he didn't have the money to help them. It's just what we do to our vets is unconscionable. It just is, dude. It's really not fair. It's disgusting. Is what it is. Let me lighten the load here a little bit and get to a little music. Why don't we do that? Let's get to a little musicians born on this date. I'll get back to a little sports talk. Let's get to, first of all, on June 16th, what musicians were born on this date. Tupac Shakur was born on this date. Tupac Amaru Shakur, born Lejeune Parish Crooks. 1971, obviously we know he was killed in 1996. Rest in peace. Gary Roberts, guitarist with the Boomtown Rats, born in 1954. He also worked with Simply Red, OMD. We lost him in 2022. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. James Smith, singer with the Stylistics, born in 1950. Robin Thompson, songwriter, member of Bruce Springsteen's band and Steel Mill, and co-wrote songs with Timothy B. Schmidt. Also wrote songs for the Dave Matthews Band. Born in 1949, we lost him in 2015. Edward Levert, songwriter with the OJs, singer-songwriter with the OJs, born in 1942 on this date. And that is it for musicians. Now let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays today. Remember, if I don't say the age, that means they have passed away, unfortunately. Indian American leader Geronimo, born in 1829, of course, no longer with us anymore. Let's see who else. Writer Joyce Carol Oates, born in 1938. She is 87 today. Actor Joan Van Ark, born in 1943. She's 82. Barbara Martin from the Supremes, born in 1943. Roberto Duran, born in 1951. Manos de Piedra, is 74 years old today. I just want to stop and tell you what I feel about you, babe. Gino Vanelli, born in 1952. He is 73 today. Great song, by the way. Great song. MC Ren from NWA, born in 1969. He is 56. Golfer Phil Mickelson, the big-breasted one, born in 1970. He is 55. Justin Jefferson, NFL player, born in 1999. He's 26. And that is it for famous folk celebrating birthdays. Sean Stanley, sir, do you have any wrestlers celebrating birthdays today?
Yes, sir, we do. Cash Flow is 49. I'm sorry. Rizar turns 31. The Sandman, he turns 62, swinging the Singapore cane. Whisper is 52. And the Ultimate Warrior was born on this date in 1959. That is June 16th, 2025.
It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, let's move over to what happened today in music history. Let's start off in 1988 on June 16th. Pink Floyd played in Berlin, in East Berlin. 2,000 fans gathered at the Wall to listen to the concert. In 96, the Smashing Pumpkins, Beck, Rage Against the Machine, the Beastie Boys, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Dougie Fresh, your favorite, Yoko Ono, and many others performed for over 100,000 fans at the two-day Tibetan Freedom Concert in San Francisco. In 2007, the then 62-year-old Rod Stewart married his 36-year-old model girlfriend Penny Lancaster on the Italian Riviera. In 2004, Velvet Revolver had the #1 album in the country with their debut, Contraband. In 1977, David Bowie put out his 5th album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, a concept record about a bisexual alien rock star. In 1982, 38 Special's Donnie Van Zant was arrested on stage in Dry Town, Tulsa, Oklahoma, for drinking in public. Donnie, you're being a wild-eyed Southern boy. Wild-eyed boy. In 2013, Black Sabbath set a new record on the UK charts for the longest gap between #1 albums, when the latest release, 13, debuted atop the charts almost 43 years after their second effort, Paranoid. Dun, 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 dun. And that happened in 2013. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. All right. So, what else do we have going on? We have Bitcoin at 107,712. We'll be hitting 108 today. We'll be hitting 108 state. That's it. All right. What else do we have? Just returned from a 2-week Alaska trip. I have about 30 hours of Big O show to catch up. Smash the likes. Thank you. Thank you. We thank you very much. Thank you, J-Town. Appreciate that. Pat in Asheville says, Sean, as a percentage, how many wrestling fans believe that it is real? At this point, are there still people that think it's real? Aren't they? Don't they know it's kind of like, what's it called? Like orchestrated.
Wrestling's real to me, damn it.
The pain is, the athleticism is, the wear and tear is. There's a lot of it that is real. All of it is real, actually, but I get what he's saying.
Well, no, that's the there's a meme out a while ago, and again, it was wrestlers like on older wrestlers talking about their injuries, and one of the guys grabs a microphone and screams into it, "Pro wrestling's still real to me, damn it!" And it's been a meme forever. Right. And I mean, again, it depends on how you look at it, but there's still a lot smaller minority of them, but there's some that still believe to this day that everything they watch is real, believe it or not.
Okay, now, you know how we like to keep it real on this show.
Yep.
And this is what I say to those kind of people out there, or anybody out there. Let's sit down and let's enjoy reality. If these men actually went at themselves for real, we'd have death in the ring every single night. It has to be this way. And even this way, it takes an incredible toll on them mentally and physically. It wears them out. Their bodies are all fucked up when they're done. So can you imagine somebody standing on the top of a ring and really power driving an elbow into a damn neck? You would crush their larynx. So what the hell are you people talking about? They have to do it this way or there would be death. Like all over. When they grab a guy by the neck, don't you think they could snap it? Do you see how strong those mother effers are? Let's be real. Pro wrestling cannot be real because it would be absolutely illegal, dude. Jesus, look how big and strong and athletic these people are. Do you want them to really hit you? Go ahead, Sean.
No, it's in the title. It's sports entertainment. I mean, it's not the Coliseum. It's not 300.
But it's like they're watching a live cartoon. They don't get it. They're watching a live cartoon is what they're watching. They're hitting, but they're not hitting. Because if there really was hitting, then there'd be death. Oh my God. The amount of dementia, the amount of concussions, comas that would be happening in wrestling. Oh my God, dude.
Oh, just look back at when they used to hit people in the head with chairs. I mean, I did it for 14 years. We never once put a hand up to take a chair shot. I always took a chair shot flush. So again, it's a lot of taking care of, that's what makes a good pro wrestler, honestly. If you can take care of the person you're working with at the same time, that person in the front row goes, I know he wasn't supposed to hit him, but it looked like he knocked him out, then you are a performer out of this world.
Exactly. I mean, come on, guys. Just enjoy wrestling if you enjoy wrestling, and appreciate the athleticism and the entertainment of it. And that's what you have to appreciate when you watch wrestling. But you really cannot expect them to really go all at it. It would be really ugly. It would be really ugly. It would be gory. Okay? Maybe it gets even better ratings. I don't know. But it would not be fun. And oh my God. Yeah, no. Yeah, that would that would be like you're watching a movie or something. You're like, is this real life? Like they're taking him out on a stretcher and he's like dead. Like, that's what would be going on all the time. These people are too big, too strong, and too talented, bro. And they are pro wrestlers. And they are actual like athletes, and they're if these people wanted to hurt you, they could hurt you, and they could hurt you badly. I don't know. It just sometimes I just wonder about reality in our world sometimes. John coming in with, you forgot James Honeyman Scott died today in 82. I did not forget. It's just they didn't have it there. I don't remember. I know you're a big James Honeyman Scott guy, so you always chime in with that. I did not know. That's their fault. They didn't have it there, bro. Big O, when are you going to be doing some more drops? I don't know. I haven't. I got to think of something to do and come up with something for you guys. Maybe I'll do that one day. It is slow now. There really isn't a lot to talk about outside of the hockey, and we'll get to basketball soon now because free agency will start, and we'll see if this is what the Heat is going to do. I mean, Dolphins wise, there's really nothing except that Zach Wilson story that I thought it was hilarious. I really did. And minicamp, what came out of it was great. Nobody got injured. That's all that matters. Nobody stands out in mini camps or anything like that. That's ridiculous. Pro wrestling matches have predetermined outcomes, yes, but the athleticism, acrobatics, and toughness of the wrestlers is very real. Yes, very, very real. Very real. Orlando, you still looking to remake your theme song? I spoke to Mason Pace, and he said he'd do a metal version for. Oh yeah, I can send you the lyrics, and I can send you the song. You can remake the song. He wants to add a little bit to the song. He can do it, and I'll send him the lyrics. I already have the lyrics and everything set. I have the music and the lyrics. All he has to do is redo the music, and he can add a little flavor to it. And then I gave him the lyrics. I have the lyrics and everything for it. So he's a musician, Jay. So he'll be able to redo it quickly. Oh man, that would be awesome. And he's got a great voice. So yeah, that would be a blessing. I'll send you the stuff, Jay. Thank you. That would be awesome. That would be fantastic. I would love that. Yeah, that would be very, very nice. Very, very nice. And he'll become the official band of this show, and we'll promote anything and everything that he's doing from there on out, for sure, for doing that. You take care of me. I take care of the people that take care of me, bro. I'm loyal to the people that are loyal to me. That's how I treat it. Let's see. Orchestrated in a fancy way of saying fake. Yeah, but the athleticism and the pain and all that is real, dude. It's real. Listen, I'm not a wrestling guy. I'll honestly tell you that. But I respect it. There's no doubt. I respect the athleticism, what it takes to do all of that, and then the real pain that they have to go through, like regular athletes. The granny who made biscuits at my McDonald's would get livid if somebody told her it wasn't real, and she would throw pennies in the ring when wrestlers came to town. Damn. It's an interesting granny there. The real pros make wrestling appear real by their technical abilities. Yeah, that's what Sean was saying. While protecting their opponents and telling a storyline of the matches within the ring. Guys like Bret Hart did that so well. Yeah. I can't, that part, I'll leave that to you, Brett. I'll leave that to Sean. You guys can speak on that part, but that's exactly what Sean was saying. Yes, sir.
No, I'm saying Bret Hart did it so well, and then his career ended because he got kicked in the head.
That's exactly it. Wow. Damn. It's crazy, dude. Really is. Don't forget, folks, to smash the like button, please. Okay? Do you guys out there in the Dolphin Nation, do you go to the synagogue? Do you go to church? Do you go temple? Do you go pray that Tyreek doesn't get in trouble? Because from now till late July, Tyreek has a lot of free time on his hands. So dangerous this time of year for people like Tyreek. Normally it wouldn't be, like, Bradley Chubb is going to have a great time off. Jalen Phillips, he's going to do classy, decent, fun things, normal things that you and I would do. You know what I'm saying? He'll have a great time. You know what I'm saying? Alec Ingold. You're not going to hear anything from those kind of people, right? Those are just exceptional human beings that know how to carry themselves on and off the field. You won't hear about Austin Jackson. Those guys they'll be just fine. They can handle time off. They enjoy time off. They'll be with their families, with their loved ones. They'll go fishing. Zach Sealer will be hunting alligators and mooses or something. I don't know what he's going to be tackling in the, out in the wild somewhere. Who knows? He'll be living in a teepee for like 3 weeks, eating off the wild, not bothering anybody, having some fun, being his own Grizzly Adams. If you're too young, do your homework. But Tyreek, there's a man that the word time is as dangerous. It's a weapon. So I'm just wondering, what do you guys do? Do you go visit an old lady in Hialeah and she does a little Santeria? Please, abuela, please pray Tyreek doesn't get arrested. I'm just wondering, what do you all do to hope that he doesn't get arrested or in trouble from now till training camp? Because we're going to be looking at the paper like, they found the guy in Minnesota that killed the politicians. They haven't found Antonio Brown. Now, DBs had a problem catching Antonio Brown. So I'm not surprised that the cops are having trouble catching Antonio Brown. But Tyreek, no. It's a whole different ballgame. So we pray that Tyreek doesn't get in trouble. Don't forget, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. We are trying to get to Madrid to cover that week's events, do the shows out there, do a couple shows at a Dolphins bar, do our pre and post game at a Dolphins bar. I am actually going to try to get the president of the Dolphin Club out in Madrid on next week. I'm going to talk to NorCal now to try to set it up this week and reach out to him and see if we can also get the bar involved and all that and have some fun. If you are going, you can hang out with us out there. If you're going to go to Madrid, we are trying to go, and we do have the QR code right there. Okay, you can make a donation. I know most people are sending it through Venmo and Cash App and PayPal, and they're saying, hey, oh, here's a donation for the show, but it's for the Madrid trip or whatever, and they send whatever, and we appreciate it immensely. Thank you. And by the way, a bunch of you also sent stuff over the weekend. So thank you very much also for those of you that send money over the weekend. It's very nice of you. Whenever you're listening to the show or whatever, I appreciate it. And if you have a question or something, I'll answer it on the air. Okay, like the folks that sent just said, here for the trip, you know. But if you have a question or a comment or something that you want me to read, and since you're listening to the show constantly, you say it, I make sure to, to answer it. Okay, so thank you out there as always. But help us get to Madrid. We want to broadcast out there and do our thing. Big O, who do you want banging the drum tomorrow for the Panthers in Game 6? My top choice is Luongo, or the wild card is Josh Beckett, South Florida king of Game 6s. Dude, anybody but a Dolphin. Anybody. Don't get Spo. I'm good with Spo. I have no problem. Luongo, fantastic, dude. Scrudlin, Mellenby, Beezer, bro. Beezer, you're home. The crowd can scream for Beezer. And then we've got Bob, Beezer, Bob, Beezer, Bob, Beezer, Bob, Beezer, Bob. Come on, Beezer. That's my pick. John Van Beesbrook. Yeah. Let's bring it full circle. The first time the Panthers made the Stanley Cup, let's have that goalie hit the drum. And then the goalie that won us our second Stanley Cup wins it that night. The Beezer. That's who I would have. Okay? The Beezer. Nah, Jaromir Jagr is a nice story, but nah. I would have Mellenby. I want people that mean more to the organization. I'd rather have Brian Scrudlin than Jaromir Jagr. Jaromir Jagr is fun, don't get me wrong, but nah. There's a bunch of people. I'd rather have Luongo than Jaromir Jagr. There's a bunch of people I'd rather have. Dude, McLean, was it what was McLean's first name? Was it? It's not Don McLean. I'm thinking music. What was McLean's first name? But that coach, maybe because we got to the cup with him. That would be cool. John McLean from out in the Nakatomi Plaza, the New York Cop. Stephen Weiss. Yes, sir.
Doug McLean.
Doug McLean. That's it. Doug McLean. That's it. I wouldn't mind Doug McLean. Peter Hook was terrific, dude. It was fun. He jammed 30 songs, 11 from Joy Division. It was fantastic, dude. I had a blast. And let me tell you something. The Miami Beach Band Shell. It's on 73rd or something like that in Collins. It's like a little amphitheater, right? A band shell. And then it's got this little groovy roof. And I will go see a band there anytime. In fact, I will probably go see Los Amigos Invisible. They're coming there. So I'm just going to keep up with that place. And if they have a band that I like, I will more than happy go to that venue and see an easy place to park because there's spaces all over the place there in Miami Beach. I had no problem parking. I parked right away, walked right in, And it was great, dude. I love that little band shell. I have never been there. I didn't even know that they held concerts there. Had no idea. But Peter Hook and company were great energy. It was just fun, dude. It was fun. Had a really good time. I've had just a magical week. Like my daughter and my wife were like, I hope we made, Father's Day special. And I was like, look, it's special every day with you guys, but I've had like a Father's Day week because I went to Tampa last week to see Metallica twice and Burns Steakhouse. Okay. And I had a great time with the wife going all over the Tampa area. Right. Went to a lot of cool places and hung out. And then this week, I go to the Peter Hook concert. Went to play video games last night. Watched the Panthers game after, and they won. So I can't, I've had a freaking amazing week, dude. It's fantastic. Can't complain. Lou Bega with Mambo number 5 to bang the drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. You all are a trip. Yes, you are. Where is Bitcoin more importantly? That's the important stuff. 107,559. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. And he sounds way better than Bernard Summers. The guitarist, he does. His voice sounds good. Hook better represents New Order and Joy Division. He's still feeling the music. Well, you go see New Order and it's dead. There's no energy whatsoever. They're just playing. And Bernard, and company, they play like an hour. Dude, we were 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 2:40 with Peter. 30 songs. It's freaking awesome, dude. And he's all over the place, and his son is there playing bass with him. His son is the bassist for the Smashing Pumpkins since 2015. The guitarist does a great job. Plus, he sings Bernard Summers' parts perfect. He sounds a lot like Bernard Summers. And then the band's super tight. Just great energy, man. It was fun. And you know what I loved about it is I like to crowd watch too. So I'm standing back and I'm looking at the crowd, and there were just so many people that were happy to hear the New Order and especially the Joy Division music. And you could tell a lot of those people lived it. A lot of those people maybe were at Fire and Ice with me back in the day. So it was actually really cool. You can feel the vibe from people, and it brought a lot of happiness to people on Saturday night. That was really, really cool. I could see that concert a couple of nights in a row. Seriously. It was so good to hear the deep cuts of New Order and then a bunch of just terrific cuts. I mean, Joy Division didn't have a lot of albums anyways. But to play 11 of their songs, you're playing a large portion of their catalog, pretty much. So it's pretty cool. Just a lot of fun, man. Really a lot of fun. If you're a New Order and especially a Joy Division fan, you're not going to get Joy Division music anywhere like you will with Peter. Peter's the only one that you're going to get that kind of music. That's it. What else? Do you know that after this week we have no more NBA and NHL or Major League Baseball to watch? And only Major League Baseball to watch. Well, Rosendo, you do. I watch soccer. I love soccer, so I'm gonna watch Inter, even though I don't really think they're gonna do much, to be quite honest. I don't think the team's very good anymore. I think people have figured them out. And I think they've gotten weaker, actually, with all the trades they've made. They've lost key people that could have given their older players a little bit more support. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Just doesn't look like it. Not impressed with this Inter squad now. And so we'll see. They'll probably lose to Porto, I think, on, what is it, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday at 3 o'clock. So we'll see. New Order has some good songs for sure. Some, yeah, they got a shit ton of great songs, bro. Great freaking songs. You kidding me? And they did 60 miles an hour, which you never hear that live. Never hear that live. It's one of my favorite songs. It's like an under the radar, great New Order song. And you rarely ever hear that live. You'll hear it with Peter Hook and the Light, but New Order won't play that. No freaking way. You know, so that was the other thing that I liked, that they played certain New Order songs that I know and you will never hear. And that's like one of my favorite songs. And I freaking love it. Dougie Fresh, highlight question. First and foremost here, don't know your history with the sport. Second, will it ever come back? No, it won't. And I used to broadcast from Miami Highlight all the time when I was in Radio Acción. 8:30 a.m. I used to do a show in the evenings called La Ensalada Deportiva. And I'd talk sports, but for 3 hours in Spanish. And sometimes one of my sponsors was Miami Highlight. And that was, I got to tell you, it's one of my favorite things that I've ever done, broadcasting from Miami Highlight. I loved it. Obviously, I was going to Miami Highlight since I was a young man for closed circuit boxing matches and things like that with my dad. And then as I got old enough, then I would go to Miami Highlight and go check it out. I used to have a girlfriend that used to love Joey. In fact, if you look at my Open, Joey from Highlight is in the Open. In one of the pictures that you'll see there is Joey from Highlight, the famous Joey. And so I used to go all the time. And then I got into radio, and that was one of our sponsors. And when I was at 940 Wins, Miami Highlight was also one of our sponsors. Ed Kaplan would do shows there all the time, and I would fill in for Ed's show. And so when I would fill in, sometimes I'd do the Miami Highlight, and then eventually I became a regular, and then they got me a show at Miami Highlight, Spanish or English. So, yeah, I had a rich history back in the day when Highlight was more, front and center. Now it's, a fringe sport, and it's something that's only in a couple of frontons now. And it's just not, no, I don't think it'll ever come back, unfortunately. And it sucks because I love it. It's fun to watch. It's fun to bet on. I enjoy Highlight. But that's just me. But maybe it's because I'm old school and I grew up with it. Maybe that's what it is. But I just don't see young people getting into it. I just don't. I don't know how you get them involved. And I don't know how you modernize the sport to attract younger people. That's the problem. So I used to have a rich history with Highlight. Yeah. Yeah, they do have betting at Highlight when Miami Highlight still has it. You can go. It's small now. It's not like what it used to be. But yeah, you can go check it out. A lot of former Canes players were playing Highlight at one stretch. I don't know how many are left, but there were a few. Messi's on his farewell tour. Inter Messi Friends Club is just a platform vehicle. Yeah, basically is what it looks like. It looks like just a money grab now at this point. I'll definitely brush up on my New Order songs. I know they are, super deep, dude. Antonio Brown is in a new sport, running from the cops. And he's better than the Minnesota killer. They caught the Minnesota killer, but they haven't caught Antonio Brown. Plus, he's like tweeting away and everything. So he's even laughing at the authorities while he's running away from the authorities. Pretty good. Jeff Long Island, your favorite song between New Order or favorite between New Order or Pet Shop Boys? New Order. New Order over Pet Shop Boys. And I love the Pet Shop Boys too. But I'll take New Order over Pet Shop Boys. But I love both. I enjoy both. So, all right. All right, folks. We appreciate all of you out there. As always, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you. Bitcoin is at 107,676. It's kind of impressive. Got to say, kind of impressive. We'll see. New highs right around the corner. This week, I bet we'll hit the 112 at one point. Seems like it. It just seems like it's building up. And meanwhile, the market, by the way, is up 379 points today. S&P is up 62, and the NASDAQ is up over a point. Just a little nugget, okay? Since most people, because, the war, what's going on, and, it's going to affect oil and all that. In this war between Israel and Iraq so far, they're all hitting their personal refineries. Okay? Korg Island that Iran has, every barrel that comes out of there gets exported. The one that they hit is their personal refinement, which will hurt them internally. But Korg Island has not been hit, and it's wide open for Israel to take it down, and they won't, because that will hurt the United States. That will piss off Trump. On the reverse, they're talking about, the Strait of Hormuz, or whatever the hell, that Iran's going to go out and block it. Well, all the oil that comes out of there, including theirs, would then get blocked, and then you'll piss off China, which is their friend. So notice how, while the war is going on, they're not doing anything to affect the oil prices internationally. They're doing everything internally. They're hitting the refineries that affect them internally, but they're not hitting the refineries that affect the world externally. Just a little nugget, just in case, because you hear a lot of FUD out there and reporters that want to scare you and they're, oh my God, and all that. Well, until you hear them hit Korg Island, which the Israelis will not do, okay? They can't get to the deepest bunker of Iran inside a mountain. They don't have the weapons to do that. Guess who has that weapon? And so you have to play nice. Sure, you can have your dispute, take out the nuclear facility. We all want that. Every country around Iran wants that. We want it. Iraq, that is. So just go ahead and take it out. That's fine. Make it hard for them. But don't make it hard on the rest of us. And so right now, Iran's not going to block off the strait because they can't. Because if they do that, they're going to piss off their allies. And Israel is not going to take out Korg Island because then you'll then piss off the others. So just, keep up there. Just a little nugget for you all out there, because some people, scare you and throw all kinds of crap out there. Big O is like a war general too. Sick. Who knew that? It's just you follow shit. Jeff in Long Island says WFAN made sports radio what it is, or what it used to be. It's no longer that anymore. It's garbage now. Okay. It's garbage now. It's all a bunch of hypotheticals and what ifs and bullshit stories and, all that kind of stuff. Like I saw The Score, a national outlet that should be respected, right? They put out a question about Jake Paul, because Jake Paul says he's the greatest thing to happen to boxing since Muhammad Ali. And then the Score goes out to ask that. Is Jake Paul the greatest thing to happen to boxing since Muhammad Ali? And like, that's such an ignorant, stupid, insulting question. You know what I mean? And this is that's sports talk. And then there's going to be idiots around the country that are going to have their radio show today on a slow day, and they actually might even use that as a topic. And then you'll have morons that will chime in on it. That's sports talk now. Yeah, sports talk is an absolute joke. Captain Saki, welcome back from Tarpon Springs, sir. I remember growing up seeing Miami Highlight commercials on TV. I was too young to understand. My friend Lazaro has all about it, or knows all about it, but D&D, I didn't grasp the game. Anyway, Tampa has great sports talk. Steve Dunning, R.I.P. Or had. Oh, had. Okay. All right, folks, I appreciate you all out there. Thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. Bitcoin is at 107,711. It's going on a little climb here right now, 713. I think we're about to go to 108 here very soon. Very soon. In the next hour here, I bet you maybe we cross 108 here. What do you think? 112 by the end of the week. But 108 today. Now, we're going to make a little run here and get over 108. Anyway, all I can tell you is I'm not a financial advisor, but keep stacking those sats, baby. All right? And thanks, Sean Stanley. And thanks to all of you out there. Hit the like button. If you made a donation, whatever it is you do to support our show, we appreciate you. Watch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you tomorrow morning. Same time. Same place. Same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.